Now we're recording. Very good. This is our Wednesday rowdy class, the 1960s, 12:30 in the afternoon here in Florida. We are in book 366 and we're on page 164 with the associations Never My Love. I do have presets for you. I'm not 100% happy with what I did, but I think it's going to be good enough for you to say, yeah, I want to learn how to do some of that stuff. I'm writing in extra notes. I'm writing in a few, and I do mean a very few extra chords. Remember, everything I do is 100% optional. You are not obligated to do anything that I do. I did have to write out an insert, okay? The insert is the ba-ba-ba-bas. You got to have that. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. You got to have that. So I wrote it.
Just so you only include one new chord, that'd be good.
Oh, okay.
An
Okay.
easy one, not a 5-finger one.
Well, I'm going to do some five-finger stuff in the
Oh.
right hand. So, but again, it's optional. Everything I do is optional. So if you just pick up on one thing and say, yes, that's what I want to learn, that would be good. If you just say, I want to play this song on this background and this preset, and just play your song, you're good. You're good. Okay? So you do not
Dawn?
need to include that. Now, those of you who have the Never My Love signature background, use that and just play and keep it easy. Okay? So if you've got the Never My Love background, you've got this. You've got this.
Dawn, I have a question before you start.
Yeah.
When I'm doing presets and I want to use the number instead of holding that thing down forever, well, sometimes I can't do that because it doesn't allow me to go home. The home button doesn't exist. So how do I get back there to get the keypad?
You have a home button on your screen.
I
You
know,
don't go to
but
this home
sometimes it
button, you go to
doesn't
this
show
home
up.
button. Don't go to the home button over here. It's going to erase everything that you just did. It's going to take all the
Right.
electronics. You
Right,
want to go
I
to the
understand.
home button that's on the bottom of your screen.
But it doesn't show sometimes. That's my
Check in the
concern.
middle. You've got the marquee. Check in the middle. It should say like right
That's
here
where
in the
it
middle of
usually
the
is.
screen.
Mine's on the
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah. It
And
should be there.
sometimes it's not there.
It
So,
should be
so
there.
I end up dinging that thing 40 times.
Mm.
But
Talk about it.
You can always go just to your sound, touch it. It's going to show up in your screen.
correct.
And then you can scroll as well. Or,
Yeah, that's,
yeah, you can just scroll. Scrolling always works.
I do that because I want to get it.
Mhm.
Sometimes you don't want to wait that long.
Yeah, I
It's
understand.
easy to
But
go to the keypad and. Okay.
sure it is. But what scrolling does is it
But
allows
it is
you
curious
to.
that the home doesn't show.
I'm surprised too.
That
That doesn't
button.
make any sense.
It's only
Dawn,
once in a while.
Yeah.
on my Grand Marquis, on the screen, the home that you touch is right left of the edit.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So it's up on the
I thought I
top.
would goof it up if I push the edit.
No, it's usually on the
Well,
bottom.
home is there.
I thought it was right in the middle.
Mine's on
Yeah,
the left
mine's right
side.
in the middle.
It's on the left-hand side, right?
Right,
Yes.
but it doesn't show up sometimes.
Oh. Huh. That's very strange.
Dawn,
Most of the time it does though, so I guess I'll be thankful.
Dawn,
Okay, Barb,
Not a
yes?
big deal.
this is really a good song, but I was looking in my screen to see if I had it in song setup and I don't. But it's pretty funny. Under the ends, I have Near My God to Thee, and the next one after that is Never on Sunday. That's pretty,
Yep.
pretty funny.
I know. So if you don't have it, if you don't have it, you got to use this.
I know. I will.
All right. I think the very first thing I'm going to do is the roadmap, and then I'll play. And that way you can follow where I'm going. And then I'll let you know where the presets go. And if you want to use them or not, you can just pick a rhythm and play. This is such a good song. All right, here we go. First verse. Uh-oh. Oh, I lost sound? Okay.
No,
All
I can
right.
hear you.
First verse. Line 1, line 2, and on line 3, there's your first ending. And at the end of your first ending, you've got 2 dots. Make it a color. Where's it going back to? The beginning. Now it's going to be between the 4/4 and the half rest. That's where you want that color to go. Now we're going to do verse 2 so we get a different color. At the end of line 2, you're going to put a colorful 2, and if you want, you can put the arrow right down to the second ending, which is just underneath it. Now we're going to do the chorus. No, actually, that's the bridge. What makes you think love will end? That's the bridge, and we do that several times too.
Say that
But
again, please. You said from 2 we go down, and then what? And then what? Oh, there's
just
the
keep playing. Just keep playing.
Yeah.
The last line, the top line, the next line, the third line, the fourth line, and in the fifth line, you've got 1 measure and 2 thin lines. That's the end of a section, and it's giving you some instructions. So take a different color, and you're going to make that a color, and it says DS al coda. Go back to the silly sign. Where's the silly sign?
Last line, first page.
Bottom of
Correct.
first.
It's the bottom of the first page, second measure. So you're doing that, what makes you think love will end, or how can you think love will end when I've asked you to spend your whole life with me? All right, now we're going to go until we get to the coda. So we're looking for 2 coda. 2 coda goes down to the bottom. On the bottom, you can do repeat dots, so you're going to need another color. You thought you were only going to need 2, huh? And you're going to put dots on both sides of the coda, and you're going to just do a repeat and fade.
Okay.
Okay?
Where do you put the coda is on the very last 2 measures?
Correct. It's those last 2 measures.
Okay, but there's nothing there but a,
There will be.
okay, so,
There will be. I'm going to put some notes in there.
okay.
All right. Also, go back up to line 2 on the second page.
Oh, there it is.
You see the second line the second measure where you've got a whole rest there?
Yep.
You're going to do a little arrow, a little V, and you're going to write insert.
Oh,
Insert. And that's where you're going to play the ba-ba-ba-bas, which is here.
Oh.
Ah, okay. And yes, I did make this a little bit. I've got to do some explaining.
do you
could've-
make insert after you've gone to the coda and?
No, it's
Oh.
because, no, your insert is actually the first time. You're going to play the insert where that whole rest is. You're going to play this whole page where that whole rest is. Then you're just going to continue
Oh,
with that C chord, and you say, you fear it'll change my mind. Okay?
Okay.
So you're just
All right.
inserting that the first time.
okay.
Then the second time, you stop short of that and go down to the coda and end the song.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to play, and I want you to listen and to where you'll be able to follow now where we're going. And hopefully you will like some of the things I did. And I actually started on an A0. Why did I do that? Because I started on A1, I didn't like what I did, so I added a preset. So instead of shoving all my presets over, I just went backwards and added an A0. I usually don't do that, but that's how this works. You're starting
What
on
ba-
A0.
What
We're on
background?
basic rock or 8-beat. It's no rumba, no. Dottie wants Latin. I know, it says rumba at the top. You know what? A rumba probably would sound pretty good. But I'm on rock 8-beat. If you have songs set up, just use it. If you've got the signature background, everything that I'm going to write in extra, you've already got it. So, I'm jealous. On the smaller instruments, it's rock full band. And I am using a country guitar. I actually liked a tremolo guitar better, but the country guitar was better to do the vocals. All right, so here we go. No intro. It's just going to be, well, there is an intro, but no intro that's already there.
Mhm.
Mm.
That sounded great.
Oh, thank you.
You are a magician.
Huh?
You are a magician.
No, I'll tell you what, you guys have pushed me to be a better musician.
Dang.
Thank you. It's because of you guys. You know,
I said you are a magician.
I know. I'm not. I'm just
I
learning.
don't know how you pull all that
I'm
off.
learning to push the buttons just like you are. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. And so I am learning to be a better musician because of the fact that, yeah, I'm doing this for you guys on Zoom.
Can you tell me the tempo?
Yes, a tempo is 86.
Thank you.
86.
I'm taking notes for my dad, so I needed that.
Ah, okay. Perfect. It's all here. It's all here. So you need to know now where the presets are. That's the next thing. And I'll talk about what are the extra chords I'm putting in, which are very few. And then we'll talk about the extra things that I'm adding. For those of you that have the Never My Love signature background, Bill Curry's got them already all in there for you. So you don't need to do any of this, but except just play the song. So you guys are actually the lucky ones. So here we go with where these are. The first, at the beginning of the song, you're going to have A0, and you're going to play the first verse. At the end of the first ending, you're going to put A1. So that's just going to be A1 when you go back.
Okay.
The second ending, you're still on A1. Line 4. See where the silly sign is?
Yep.
Okay, right there, and it's not the silly sign coming back, it's just where it happens to be located. That's going to be A2. So you want to kick to A2 before playing that E chord.
So it's right above the silly sign?
Yep.
Okay.
You want to do it before you get to that E chord.
Oh, okay.
You could do it right after the E chord too, I guess. You know, whichever one sounds the best, works the best for you. But before you start playing What Makes You Think Love Will End, you want to make sure that you're on A2.
Oh, okay.
All right, now we're going to go to the top of the next page, line 1. Line 2, this is the one that's going to drive you a little bit crazy. Because you are going to put a fermata over the G whole note.
Oh,
You know, remember what a fermata looks like? It's that little
Mhm.
rainbow with the dot in the middle.
You said line 2, there's no G on there.
Yes, there is. There's a G note.
Oh, you mean the G
First
note.
note.
G note. Yeah, the first note.
Yeah, I got it.
Now, you are also going to write after the E minor chord, you're going to write it, you're going to make 2 little lines and write stop. So you're going to hold that G note and E minor for as long as you want, and then you're going to hit the stop button. Reach up and hit your start stop. And you are going to play 2 chords with your right hand. With your right hand, okay?
Are you up an octave?
Nope,
No.
you're gonna, nope,
Okay, all right.
nope. Your notes are going to be, if you write them in the right way, you won't have to worry about it. So we're gonna stack some notes, all right? And you've got a whole bunch of space there. So just write in that space, because you're just hitting stop, and you're going to do this at your own speed. And that's when your chorus people are singing on you with all the different harmonies. And so that's what that's supposed to mimic. So you're going to put a G, a high G on the first space over the staff. Right underneath it, you're going to put an E elephant on the top space. Right underneath that, you're going to put a C chicken on the third space. And right underneath that, you're going to put an A alligator on the second space. So G, E, C, A.
Is this where
Are
you're
you going
playing
up
A
or
minor?
down?
Pardon?
Is this where you're playing the A minor chord?
No, we're not there.
Oh. yeah.
Nope, you're in that space where you're in that measure before the 2 coda.
Where you put stop.
Correct. We're stopping, and then you're just playing this on your own time, on your own tempo.
Were you going up or down with those 4 notes?
I'm going up.
Okay.
Now you could just play them,
You're going,
but I'm doing an arpeggio because I'm using a guitar, so it sounds a little bit better. But you could just play all four notes at one time if you want. Now the second chord that you're going to play, right next to it, you want to stack up some more notes. E elephant on the top space, C chicken on the third space, A alligator on the second space, and G gorilla on the second line. So A and G are going to be real close together. So it's the association singing on you is what you're getting.
so that's all in the one measure.
Go ahead.
That's all in the one measure.
That's all in that one measure, correct?
GETA,
Because
right,
yeah, first of all, that fermata means you hold it as long as you want. So
Right.
we're killing the timing. And when you hit that stop button, you're killing the timing. You're doing whatever you want.
Okay,
All right? Then we are going to write in some extra notes. And those are actually the ones that I should have told you right off at the beginning. But your extra notes are E, F, G, B, C.
Where are you putting that?
where are you putting that? I don't know.
That's going to be your lead in for A3. Actually, you're going to hit A3 first.
Yeah.
You're going to not even play the A minor chord.
This is
Not
on
even
the
gonna play it, so
insert.
cross it out and
It's on
throw it
the
away.
insert. The notes on
Cross.
the insert?
Yes, that's where the insert goes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
E, F,
So
G.
what are the notes?
E, and it's on the insert.
Oh, I got it. I see. Okay.
E, F, G, B,
B,
C.
C.
And that L means left hand, and I'm playing it on the upper keyboard in octaves. But you can just play one hand or the other, doesn't matter. But those are your lead-in notes that if you don't have the signature background, you need to play those to make the song sound. And then you play the ba-ba-ba-bas.
So I have a quick question.
Yes.
I have the song set up.
Uh-huh.
Do I add these though?
No.
Or,
I wouldn't. I would just play the insert.
okay, so I can just take a nap for the next 15.
No, you still have to play the insert, Rich.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
You just don't have to play the da-da-da-da-da.
Okay.
You don't have to play that. You just still have to play the insert.
The insert, this is the only thing I got to do. Thank
Yep,
you.
that's it.
Thank you.
And yeah, you probably don't even need to do these, which are the ones on the insert line 3 where it says L. That just means the lower keyboard.
All right, so I don't have to do anything almost.
Probably not. Just play the rest of this. Play the stuff that's not in the parentheses.
Okay, thank you.
John,
Yeah.
the first measure is ACEG going up, GACE going up, and then the next notes that you said, cross off the A minor,
Correct.
and that's where the insert goes.
Correct.
And then you said put some notes in.
That's the notes that are written on your insert.
Okay, could you tell me what those notes are?
E, F, G,
Now
B,
going up,
C.
are you
I'm
strumming?
individual. E on the first line, E, F, G, down to a B. And when you play the C, you're going to play the C chord, which is on your insert.
Okay, so you're gonna play a C chord with that last C.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
Correct.
So
Those are-
Dawn,
Yeah.
Well, where do
we
you play the
play-
A minor then? Where's
You
that
don't. You
from?
throw it away.
Throw it away.
You throw away the A minor?
Da, 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 da.
Cross out the A minor and throw it away.
Oh,
Yes.
and put a C there.
Well, not really, because
No.
you're going to the insert. You're going to
God.
your insert there.
Yeah.
And then when you go to the insert, after you're done with the insert, you come back and start that third measure.
Yeah, because it's da 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 da. Okay.
Yeah.
You want me
And
to
then
sing
you go
again?
back to, you say, you fear I'll change your mind. Okay. Now, let's keep going. I did some extra chords that I didn't tell you. Oh no, I'm doing extra. Oh, well, I started one thing and
Yeah, let's finish.
I'm sorry, I'm doing presets. That's A3.
Yeah.
You got me all off track here now. So A3 is when you go to the insert. Well, you're only doing the insert once. And then A4 is actually on the insert. So if you're not using the insert, A4 will actually be line 2, measure 3.
Don,
Yes,
what page are you on?
I am on the second page, 165. 165. So now we're on A4. No. 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 You're just going to play the way it is, and the chords are fine. I'm doing an echo in line 4. All right, it's the only time I'm doing this particular echo. So line 4 of the second page, you've got Never My Love. And the echo is so your notes are in that same measure as the E whole note, you're going to write close to the end of the measure, E on the first line, F on the first space, G on the second line, and the first beat of the next measure, where that half rest is, you're going to have E on the top space. E, F, G, E. That's going to be your echo.
I thought echo was going back to what you had just played, but you're putting
Sometimes,
in. notes.
sometimes it's echoing the words.
Okay,
It's echoing the words. It is a little bit different melody.
yeah.
Okay?
Would you
So now
say
we're going to do the last measure is never my love, and the echo there, or the counter melody, that's another way to put it, is never my I love.
Are those
so
quarter notes?
Your extra notes are going to be E, right on top of the C on that last line. Right over that C, you're going to put E on the first line. Then go down to a D, the first space under the staff, dinosaur. And then go down to a C, the same line, the first line under the staff. And your two bottom notes, or actually your three bottom notes, are going to be G, A, G. Just play it the way it sounds. Play it the way it sounds. And if you need an extra measure to do that, put an extra measure in, because all you're doing is going back to the silly sign.
Okay, Dawn, you lost me on that last.
Okay, the
Last
last
thing.
line, you're going to put an echo that does this.
The last measure, or where the C chord is?
Right, the C
Or the C,
chord,
yes,
you're going to play the C note, and you're going to
Right.
stack a note on top of it. So you're going to put an E on the first line.
okay.
Now you can drop that C whole note, so you're actually not holding it for the whole 4 counts. And you're going to continue a D on the first space under the staff, then go to a C on the first line under the staff, then go down to a G, just write it low, and then go up to an A, one step above it, and then go back down to the G. So it's E, D, C, G, A, G.
Okay.
Now, where it says DSL coda, you want to write A5. And then you're going to go back to the silly sign with A5. And the coda is A6.
Oh, that is A, but you just put A5 there.
A5 goes back to the silly sign.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. A5 is where you go DSL coda. So you go back to the silly sign with A5. And then when you get to the 2 coda, you go to A6.
A5 is the second line on the second page, right?
No, the 4th line on the second page by your silly sign.
Fourth line.
That's why I wrote it. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll find it in a minute.
Okay. Now, these notes that I have at the beginning of the insert are actually the same notes that you're going to use for your intro. And you're going to play that and twice. And if you want to write it in, go ahead and write it in your margin. But it's just those da 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 da. And I'm playing it with 2 hands on the upper keyboard. But make sure you've already played your C chord. And then I'm also playing da da da, which is an E and a G. You don't have to play those. We're just going to play the E, F, G, B, C twice for the intro. Oops, I should be on C0, sorry. And play that twice and then just go right into your song. Now, I also have some extra notes on the bottom.
Dawn, before you go on, but
Yeah.
I ask her, I got everything except that one echo on second page, 1, 2, 3, 4th line, last measure. in the last measure on the fourth line there in the second page, you put an echo in there. Could you repeat?
I put an
those?
echo on, no, the second measure, fourth line, second measure.
Oh, that's why I got it wrong. Okay. Could you repeat those
Yes,
notes?
the notes are at the end of that second measure, you're going to have an E, F, G. E on the first line, F, G, and then go up to a high E right underneath that F chord. So it's the first beat of the next measure.
Oh, it's E, F, G, and then up to a what?
Up to a high E. And if you listen to the tape, if you listen to a recording, go to YouTube, it's there.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now your coda, you're also going to end with those same first 5 notes that are in the parentheses and your insert,
EFG,
and fade it out.
EFG, BC.
E, F, G, B, C. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Now there's also some notes down here. And the second one is actually written on line 3 of your insert. But the other one is line 2 of the first page. Tired of you. So you don't have a lot of space to write them, but you're going to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notes in between the C half note and the bar line. You're going to write G on the second line, A on the second space, C chicken on the third space, back down to an A on the second space, back up to a C on the third space, and then the first beat of the next measure, the high E on the top space.
Could you just play an FX?
That's on line 2, first measure.
Could you just play an FX?
Sure you could. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You're
Make it
losing me
easy.
with some of these notes.
I'm pushing you guys. I told you I was pushing you guys today.
Yeah,
We're all confused.
that's true.
Dawn, could you
What was that?
repeat
What
those
were
notes?
those? What were those
And-
notes again?
And then at the end, those notes are G, gorilla, A, alligator, C, chicken, A, alligator, C, chicken, up to a high E, elephant. And it's
Oh,
played
high
down
E.
here.
Oh,
You play it down in the lower keyboard.
Yes.
That's
Okay.
cool.
And then at the end of the line, you're going to do, now that is C, A, G, E, G, and it's written in your insert on the third line in the parentheses. So you can just copy it from there.
Say it again. C-A-G. what?
C, A, G, E, G. And if you just copy it from your insert,
Okay.
We play that where the C chord is at the end.
correct. You play it at the end of the line, and that last G goes on the F of your first and second ending.
Is that on the lower keyboard?
Yep, that's all on the lower keyboard. Yep. I told you I put a lot of extra stuff in it.
Huh.
Why? Because I can.
Yeah.
Remember,
maybe
it's all
we can't.
optional. You don't have to do any of this. You don't have to do any of it.
Yeah.
Fill in works just as fine. It really
Thank you.
does.
I like Phil.
Okay, now let's do extra chords. First page. No extra chords until the last line.
Oh, that's progress.
Yeah, so the silly sign, where the silly sign is, that E in measure 2, you're going to make it an E sus or an E7 sus, which would be D dinosaur, E elephant, A alligator, B butterfly. D
Is that
E A B.
A
Is that
sus is DEA.
Nope, the sus is the E A B. The 7 is the D. So if you're just going to do the 3-fingered sus, it's E elephant, A alligator, B butterfly.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Joanne.
You're welcome. Anytime.
Now that's good for 2 counts. Now, when you come in with what, with the word what on beat 3, just go back to a plain old E or an E7. And I'm adding oohs down here, so you got to play those chords, because that's where your chorus guys are singing your oohs, because I've put them in the lower. The A minor, you may put a 7 on it for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the A quarter note is either a D7 or a D9. Make it easy on yourself, play D7, C and D. If you want to play the D9, it is C, D, E, and F sharp. Top of the second page, make that G a G major 7, F sharp and G for 2 counts. Beat 3 over the G for the word whole, make it a C major 7 or a C major 9. The C major 7 is C and B, chickens and butterflies, and the major 9 is C, D, E, B, and the B can go on the bottom if you want. You can just slap those 4 fingers down. The F in measure 2, make it an F major 7, E and F. The D minor, you can put a 7 on it if you wish, C, D, F. Second line, you're throwing away the A minor. Coda, you're throwing away the A minor. And that's it. Cross it out and get rid of it.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
Thank you.
John, if you're throwing away the A minor on the last line there, you don't put anything in for those extra notes? You just
Yes. You can play it on C. You can play the whole thing on C.
Okay, so you play the whole thing on C.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And fade, right?
Just a C
And
chord.
fade.
That's it.
Fade.
That's done.
Okay, you need me to play it again so you can see where
Yeah.
things are? See if
Yeah,
you
I
got
got
your notes
lost.
in the right place.
I got lost the first time.
All right, here we go.
Well,
You
this
got
is
lost the first time? All right, I'm just playing a C chord. I'm not doing anything with my intros because this is my intro. Now, if you don't want to do the 2 hands, just do 1 hand with your E, F, G, B, Cs. Do it twice. Roll the chords if you want, or just play what's there. Just like with the 1 hand. Just do that. Second ending. Now we're going to go to A2. Fill in. Stop. Go to your A3. Insert. A4. Now we're going to start on line 2, measure 3. Echo. 5. Back to the silly sign. Remember, you've got a fermata there, so you can hold it as long as you want. Now go to the coda. Fade.
So the second time you didn't do the stop with those other chords you gave us?
No, because that's no, you don't do that. You go straight to the coda from there. You know what? Good call. My bad. Yeah, your coda, your 2 coda should actually go be right on that E minor chord, right after that E minor chord for the second
Yeah.
time. Yeah, because you're not playing those 2 chords the second time. You're going straight to the coda.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
So
Good
at-
call. Good call, Connie.
Okay, so at E minor, the second time you go to the coda.
Yep, you're going to play that E minor, you're going to put the fermata over the G, and then you're going to go straight to A6 and just play the coda and fade out.
So you don't.
You're only playing those 4-fingered chords up here once. Do the insert, go on, yeah. And then the second time you play it, you're not doing those 2 chords, you're going straight from the E minor and the G down to the coda.
When you do the stop, that's not like the 3-finger stop. It's just.
Ooh, that's not a no chord. You
It's
reach up physically and
chord.
stop it. Reach
Alright.
up and hit the start stop button.
All right.
Then you can take as much time as you want to play those other chords.
Okay.
And if you listen to the recording, they do that. They take their time there. Now, if you don't feel like doing it, skip that part. Just play it.
Oh,
You know, honest and truly, I did push you on this one, but I listened to the recording like several times and went, you know what? Yeah, you got to put that in. And the people that have the signature background, you guys lucked out because most of that stuff is already all there. You still might want to do the stop and then go to the insert, but you don't
Yeah.
have to put in all that other stuff. That's all in there.
But that's so cool.
hopefully my organ has this.
So,
I have a-
yeah,
I have a question
go ahead.
on your sheet.
Mhm.
A3.
Mhm.
I was looking at it, turn off alter style, that's fine. Lower tabs, and you have L period genius sound.
That's
So
the
I have-
lower genius. That's the lower genius.
Okay, it is the lower genius, all
Yep.
right. Oh,
It's
does
lower
say-
tabs. You're on your lower tabs, so you go to the lower sound or the lower genius, and then you're just
Got
going
it.
to change the sound. Mhm.
Thank you, got
You're
it.
welcome.
It says lower genius right on the tab.
Yep, it does.
If I had looked, I probably would have figured that out.
But see, that's what
But-
this is good for. You are learning the buttons on your organ, even if you never use this sheet. This sheet is just designed to help you guys find what all these things do.
Well, I will always remember that the genius on the lower tabs is the lower genius.
Oh,
Or
you guys are
basic.
funny.
Some have basic, right? The basic.
Yeah.
Yes. Now basic, and genie over here are the same thing.
Yeah.
Lower genius is the same on yours as lower sound.
Sound.
Right. Yeah.
Hmm? Yep, they changed the verbiage.
Just to confuse us.
Yes,
Right.
of course, just to confuse us. Wait till I get to start doing presets for the MK5000 too.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Question,
yeah.
on your sheet,
Mhm.
at A0, you got, 8-beat rock is what I'd use, in category country 1.
Mhm.
Do you, on the marquee, do I go to preset to get number 1 on the country guitar?
Mhm.
Because the 0 would be dobro,
Right, yes.
so go use number 1 preset for that with the
Yeah,
harmonic.
because you want the country guitar, you do not want the dobro. So
Okay.
you're going to go to category preset and then touch number 1, and that should give you country guitar on top, a harmonica on the bottom,
Yes.
which I changed that to those the 70s piano sound, but the harmonica actually has like an underwater sound. I did not go in and change that. That would have been too hard. So when I put in the piano sound, that effect is still on it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty.
Yeah, it's still on it. So I debated whether I should go in and change it back to nothing or just leave it. And I thought, just leave it. It's the easiest thing in the world to do is just leave it there. So
Yeah,
it
it's
gives you that
nice.
underwater effect.
Where do we make that change on the sheet? Where is that change? I didn't
That's
see it.
right in A0.
Oh, okay.
You do that right
Oh,
away in
okay.
A0.
Yep. See it. Okay.
But you're not changing the harmonica that was there already had that effect. So the
Right.
effect doesn't go away just because
I
I'm
like that.
changing the sound.
Right. I like that.
It worked out pretty well, actually. Yep.
Yeah.
But see, what you're doing is you're finding where these buttons are and what they do. Listen for what the alter style does. Listen to the difference between auto bass 1 and auto bass 2 so you know what the difference is. Because it comes up to auto bass 1. I'm changing it to number 2. Why would I do that? Well, let's listen to what auto bass 1 actually does. All right, how do I know what it's doing? That's what auto bass 1 is doing. Auto bass 2,
Oh, double beat.
yeah. Uh-huh. So yeah, if that's the only thing you learned today, that auto bass 1 and auto bass 2 have different patterns, then you are 100% successful. That's
And
it.
only one could be on at a time.
Only one can be on at a time. You may not have auto bass 1 and 2 on at the same time. Nope.
Don, I have another question.
Go ahead, Susie.
On the category country, will
Uh-huh.
that stay in throughout the song?
As long as I'm not changing it.
Okay, so that I don't have to lock it in or nothing.
Nope. Nope. As long as you're not changing it, that stays there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Dawn,
Yeah.
and in your backgrounds, did you go to 8-beat rock or did you go to country?
No. Country is the category for the sound. I'm on 8-beat rock for the pattern, for the background.
Okay.
Oh.
So
I'm not using any of the rock and roll rhythm presets. I'm using the category country for the guitar.
Okay.
That's all I'm using it for. Remember, categories have nothing to do with the music style.
Okay.
They're just sounds.
Okay,
So-
so basic rock is not the sound you're using. You're using 8-beat.
Basic rock or 8-beat, it's called something different on each organ.
Oh, okay.
That's why I put it that way.
Okay.
Okay. Basic rock is on some of yours. 8-beat is on some of yours. Rock full band on the smaller instruments.
Okay. I have basic rock.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, everybody's is a
Then
little
you're
bit
good.
different, so that's I try to put on as many of the verbiage changes as I can. But the sound I am getting from a category preset.
Right.
So that's just the sound that I'm getting. That's this basic sound that I'm using for my basic. For my basic 8-beat. And I'm just changing up the bass player.
Hell of a job.
What?
Hell of a job.
Well, I got a little carried away with it, and my apologies if it's too much. But remember, everything I do is optional. Optional. You're lucky I didn't have another week to work on this. I would have done all kinds of stuff to it.
Oh, yeah.
You did great.
All right, we still have to do fingering? Oh, good, we got time. Are there any other questions before I go?
Bye. Thank you.
Yes, I was playing, yeah, I have a question from Dottie. She said I was playing rolled chords, stacked chords on the first page. Yeah, if those are the first notes of the first beat of each measure, I'm playing the chord, the full fingered chord, and just rolling the chord. Now that's optional too. You don't have to do that. If you do want to do that, oh, Dottie wants the notes. We have time? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Okay. All right. So first line, second measure, under the G, you want to add D dinosaur and B butterfly. And always remember, you're going to roll from the bottom up. So it sounds like you're strumming that guitar. Third measure, under the F first beat, you want to put D dinosaur and B flat, flat butterflies. Second line, under the F, you're going to stack up C chicken and A alligator. Low A. Now, if you only can want to play the one, just play the two notes, C and F. Second line, last measure, under the E, just put C. You can put a G if you want to, but that's hard to reach all that. And then in the first ending, second measure, under the E, put a C, or if you want, you can do C and G. And that's all it is the right hand full fingered chords on the first beat. Kind of messes up your fingering though. That's optional, completely optional, but if you feel like doing it, go for it. All right, you guys, next week. Oh, Ode to Billy Joe.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because I've never taught it. I've sung it in the store before, but I've never taught it. So all right, let's do some fingering. There's several different ways to do this. And if you're doing those rolled chords, this fingering does not apply. You're on your own for that. E1, F2, G3, G3, high D5, B3, G2, F1. Okay, D2, E3, F4, F4, C1, C1. Never My Love, C1, D2, E3, E3. Third line, first ending, C1, D2, E3, E3. Second ending, C1, D2, E3, C1. B3, A2, B3, C4, B3, C4, A2, D5, C4. Top of the second page, B3, A2, B3, G1, C4, B3, A2. End of the line, B3, G1. That's where your fermata is. Let's go to the third measure after the insert. E1, F2, G3, G3, D5, B3, G2, F1. Check mark, D2, E3, F4, F4, C1, C1. Next line, C1, D2, E3, E3. If you're going to do the echo, it's E3, F1 with a circle, or you can do E1, F2, G1. That's what I would do. And then the high E is 5. So you do a thumb tuck. And then at the end of the line, it's C1, D2, E3, C1, And then your echo would be 4, 3, 2, E4, D3, C2, low G1, A2, low G1. And that's it. So you can make it as easy as you want. You can also make it ridiculous hard as you want.
Like you do.
No, you guys have pushed me, and I'm glad because I've become a better musician because of you guys. I don't just want to serve you yuck. I want to serve you good stuff.
Yuck. That's good.
Yeah. Well, you like yuck.
Yeah, yuck. Oh, yuck.
All right, next week, Ode to Billy Joe. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to call or email. Yes, I'm a busy person, but I'm not too busy for you guys. That's my job, is to take care of you guys. And so emailing, I will always get back to you. If you phone, I will always get back to you. All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dawn.
Have a great rest of your day.
We'll try. Bye-bye.
Thank you.